Hello and welcome to the Harvey Marge Dialogue Answers. Here we go. Okay, so actually the first thing I want to do is actually talk about this little interesting thing up here where it says, I wish, Marge, that you would tell me where I put my glasses, said Harvey. Okay, I want you right now to put commas around Marge, if you didn't do so already. And I would like you to mark Marge as something that we call a noun of direct address. He is directly addressing her. So her name actually gets set off by commas. It's an obscure little comma rule, one that I don't see too many of you doing correctly yet because it's so odd, okay? I wish, comma, Marge, comma, dot, 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 dot. Now, right now, go down to the bottom of the page. Let's take a look at this little box down here where it says we have some more examples of nouns of direct address. Here's somebody talking to somebody named Sue, okay? Would you tell me again, Sue, how much you love me? Do me a favor and please underline Sue. There's our noun of direct address, and she gets set off by commas. Same thing here. John, comma. Please pass the potatoes. I'm fed up, Humphrey, with all your nagging. He gets set off by commas. I can't believe you do that, dude. Okay, does that make sense? That's how it's done when you're talking to somebody directly. Memorize it, think about it. Okay, it is very likely to come up in your stories. Nouns of direct address. Do it right. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about is actually this little thing that's happening right here, third line down where it says, no, I did not. Okay, did anybody put a comma after the no? What we have here is an interjection, labeling it thus. Any of those little expressions we use when we're talking that are kind of fillers or express emotion get set off by comma unless it's really, really full of emotion, and then you could set it off by an exclamation point. You could very easily see that you could have a no, exclamation point. I did not, exclamation point. So having said that, let's go down to our little box down here and take a look at some more examples of interjections, which take either a comma or an exclamation point. Gosh, you could sure skateboard like a pro. Okay, notice how gosh is set off by commas. Or if the emotion is even stronger, gosh, exclamation point, you can sure skateboard like a pro. He was totally out of it. What do you do with that like? That little filler word we put in there that is an emphasizer, actually. Don't let anybody ever tell you say things for no reason. In our modern language, you use like as something that's going to highlight what comes after it. He was like, pay attention to this next thing. He was like, totally out of it. Okay, it has a point. It really does. Sure. Oh, look at this. We have one right there. Sure, I'll give you a lift, but man, I'm sick of moochers. Wow! Exclamation point. I can't believe I won. What were those things called again? Interjections. Set them off by commas or exclamation points. Okay, having done that, what I want to do now is give you the one key principle for all dialogue everywhere, okay? How about right here in this nice space? What a great spot we have here. So write it down. Here's the key. All punctuation, periods, commas, exclamation points, question marks, all punctuation always comes before the quotation marks. Before. Okay, I see tons of errors in this. Again, we don't do dialogue very often. So let's take a look at how that works in actual practice. But there's your key right there. Woo! All punctuation comes before quotation. Okay, so back up to our first sentence in this, where it says, you've got a line, somebody's saying, and the little he said, she said thing comes at the end. Okay, so Harvey says that big, long thing, and then the he said, she said thing comes after. I wish, Marge, you'd tell me where I put my glasses, said Harvey. Okay, make sure your quote gets up here. And then, what do we do in front of the said Harvey? Comma, and then the quote mark. Okay, comma before quote, comma before quote. I know it's a little hard to see. Make sure they're not, I see a lot of times students will try and do something like this, put the comma here and then the quotes right on top of it because they're not sure if it goes before or after. The punctuation will always go in front of the quotation. We still need to end our sentence though, so put a period after Harvey. Next we have the he said, she said thing coming at the beginning. Marge replied, comma, quote, you left them on the table, period, quote. And now, because we now know that Marge and Harvey are in a dialogue together, nobody else is actually going to join in the conversation, we can now start leaving off the he said, she said, because we know. Okay, so again, you could set up a dialogue of some back and forth interactions. No, I did not. Did too. Yes, you did. No, I didn't. And not include said Harvey, said Marge, whatever. Okay, it's been established. We know who's talking. So all we need here is the quote. No, I did not. Period, quote. Let's make him get a little more excited here. Did too! Exclamation point. Quote. Again, punctuation before quotation. Okay. As it gets into this next one, what's going on is you have a one big long sentence. I know I didn't leave my glasses there because I haven't sat at the table all day today. One sentence, and we've dumped the he said, she said thing, Harvey said, into the middle of it. Okay, so in the middle of the sentence, we're not going to have any ending punctuation, or not going to have any periods. So how do we indicate, what do we do around Harvey said to set it off but not ever end our sentence? Okay, it's going to be a bunch of commas here, so here we go. Quote, I know I didn't leave my glasses there, comma, quote, Harvey said, comma, quote, because I haven't sat at the table all day today, period, quote. Okay, check to make sure you've got that right. Now, as Marge replies, this is actually different. This is kind of cool. Start off here with your quote marks. You had breakfast there, silly. Now, what are we going to do with that thing, silly? What the heck is that? You had breakfast there, silly. Okay, again, what we have here is a noun of direct address. Please label it thusly so you can remember this principle. She refers to him by a nickname, a little insult, silly. Then we do our comma, end quote. She's done. You had breakfast there, silly, said Marge. Now, guys, that was a complete sentence. You had breakfast there, silly. She is done with that sentence. She's going to say more. Okay, she's going to go on and have another couple of sentences here, but that sentence is done. We are actually going to put a period right here. Okay, end that sentence. Okay, a lot of you probably had a comma. It's a period. You had breakfast there, silly, said Marge. Now, she can say as much as she wants now. We know who's talking. Quote, I swear your memory is dead and gone, period. Too bad you can't get memory glasses to fix it, period. Quote. Okay. I have not lost my memory, Harvey shouted. Quote, I have not lost my memory. Put the exclamation point right here. Quote. Harvey shouted. Ooh, we're still not done. So even though we have a final punctuation here, we're still not done with our sentence, period. Okay. Now, the same thing's going to happen again, where Marge is going to say something. She's going to end her sentence and then say something else. Okay. Quote. Well then, comma, this is another interjection. Well then, I have a question for you, comma, quote, Marge said, period, quote. What are we arguing about? Question mark, quote. And then he ends by saying, quotation mark, I haven't the foggiest idea, period, quote. Okay, did I prove it to you that all punctuation comes before quotation? Keep that rule in mind. It will never lead you astray. Okay, it's kind of tricky stuff, but you can get it. Okay, I'm going to change videos now. So that was the first Harvey Marge. On to the second one. Goodbye for now.